Oh my goodness. Look at you.
Our visit with Graham Kerr was a day full of surprises. One of the biggest, he lives right here in Mount Vernon. I came bearing gifts, a vintage copy of his pioneering work, the Graham Kerr Cookbook, first published in 1966. What do you think about when you see this book? Like, I know...
Well, there's one picture in here which I'm a little bit suspicious of.
Okay.
Let's see. And it's this one.
Oh my God!
I think that's a bit much, don't you?
No,
really?
It's great. Look at, how old were you there? Ready to take on the world?
26 and 84 now.
It's been more than 50 years since Kerr's iconic book first hit stores. That's awesome. One of his innovations, step-by-step photos.
I wanted people to understand basic methods.
Yes.
And once you know how to cook, it's only a question of the ingredients that you like. There's lots of people have done that.
But you kind of did it first, though.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Well, no.
That book led to his pioneering TV program, The Galloping Gourmet, which debuted in the U.S. in 1969. The winning recipe for the show was Kerr cooking, sharing his techniques, and entertaining a live studio audience, all at the same time. Each episode began with the exuberant Kerr literally leaping onto the set. How did that idea even come up?
Well, my wife Trina, she looked at me and she said, "My God, man, you must be the most unutterably boring man in the entire world." Now,
your wife said that to you.
And I remember those words. They're written on my heart. So I said, "If you're so clever, why don't you produce a show?" She said, "All right, I will." She said, "Just don't walk into this audience, run in, grab a glass of wine to begin with, and then, I don't know, jump over that chair."
Let's just say, things didn't always go as planned.
I'll see you through that. It's beating me. I can't do it. I'll see you through there.
But one reason that people love watching you so much is that you seem to be having such a great time yourself.
I enjoyed them, and they enjoyed me, and I loved doing the program. And when I got to taste that food at the end and pull somebody out of the audience to be able to eat it with me, I can still feel the joy of that moment now.
Then, in 1971, at the apex of the show's popularity, the couple was on the road filming when things took a terrible turn.
On the second day out, we were hit by a vegetable truck, of all things. How we were not killed, nobody knows.
Really?
But I was partially paralyzed on my left side. I couldn't jump over a chair.
Right.
And Trina at that stage said, "I've had it."
So you kind of just like walked away?
We then went off and licked our wounds. So we got this boat and we set out to sail around the world, which we did 24,000 miles at sea, and I got better. Little chopped nuts.
By the time Kerr took a break from the biz, he had already been cooking professionally for decades. He started as a teen working at a restaurant.
The very first dish I ever cooked in public was a crepe Suzette. Something happened there. I did something, I knew how to do it, I had a story to go with it, and they got to taste it, and it was a full circle. And I just loved that experience. And I have loved that experience ever since.
After walking away from the Galloping Gourmet, Kerr went on to host more TV shows, 1,800 episodes total, and he wrote 30 books. Kerr eventually moved to Washington State, finally landing in Mount Vernon. We got a taste of that special Kerr cooking style ourselves, but there's a twist.
Unmentionable stuff into the bottom of that pan. Clarified butter.
When the Galloping Gourmet was on, you guys loved the butter and the fat and all that stuff. But today, you are like the poster child for healthy eating.
Well, you know, what I've tried to do is say to people, there is nothing that I want to ban.
Right.
Nothing.
Okay.
I just want to have less of it.
These days, Kerr is a fan of prepping and freezing ingredients for future use.
And I want to have more plant food in my life. I want to get between 7 and 9 servings a day.
He showed us how quick and easy it is to make vegetable risotto.
It's coming, you see. Now, you soak from that side.
First of all, I can't believe that I'm about to take a bite of something that Graham Kerr made me in his own kitchen. It's delicious.
Right?
I'm just gonna leave now. While he still loves cooking, there is one ingredient missing in Kerr's life: his beloved wife, Trina. They first met as kids, playing badminton in the English countryside.
So I was 11 and Trina was 10. And I knocked the shuttlecock into the rhododendron bushes, and we both dove into the red to try and find the shuttlecock. And in the cool of an English afternoon, in the shade of those rhododendron bushes, our hands touched for the first time. And I fell head over heels in love with that woman.
They were married for almost 60 years.
I am on my own now. You know, my wife Trina died 2.5 years ago now. And so I am trying to find out what it is to live alone. And I'm writing a book on the subject.
But before that, an updated edition of that book that started it all, the Kerr Cookbook by the Galloping Gourmet.
I'm afraid it's hazelnut.
Cooking has evolved a bit since the 1960s, but Kerr's work has stood the test of time, with a few tweaks.
The portions are too big.
That's your criticism of your
Of my own book,
Your own
yes.
book.
Almost 70 years after he started cooking, Kerr's recipe for a good life is simple.
There's a cause and effect from everything. And if we can moderate that and enjoy it, be nourished and delighted, that's what life is about.
Malia Karlinski, Seattle Refined.